Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I will be going through all these July notices that we've gotten so far. So there's like 10 notices here, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Otherwise this could be a longer video than I'd like to have. So, fair warning, I am running on 3 hours of sleep. I've been awake for like 15 hours right now, so I'm pretty exhausted. So hopefully my analysis is extensive enough to help you make some informed decisions. So let's go ahead and talk about the first notice, Supernova Plus Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua campaign. So we did get a new Aqua medal, and of course by principle I had to go get it. So let's go ahead and talk about the campaign here. So first of all, the medal looks awesome, and that is definitely a +1 in my book, but the unfortunate thing about it is that you can only get it by buying VIP for the time being. We don't know if it's going to show up in a banner down the line, we don't know if it's going to be like a quest reward, so we're not really sure what the future is holding, minus the fact that we know it's going to be in the VIP per week for 5 total weeks. So again, that WJE is the weekly jewel extravaganza. In the US it is $15, so I don't know what it might be in everyone else's country, but that's a pretty sizable amount of money to pay. And then you can do this 5 total times to get 5 total Supernova Plus Kingdom Hearts 3 Aquas. Personally, I only think you need 1 just moving forward. But if you plan on having like a bunch for like PvP, stuff like that, you're probably going to need 2. I'd probably say not 3 though, because while this medal is really broken right now, we don't know which medals are going to come down the line, if they're going to have better strength boosts, if it's going to apply to more than just magic. So we don't really know what's coming down the line. So at the very least, if you do buy VIP, I'd say probably just get 1 for the time being, have good traits on it, and then just kind of capitalize on using that one for the most part. Now, if you purchase the Jewel Box Plus, which again is VIP, 5 or more times, you will receive the new Defense Boost 6 Max skill. Now, my thoughts on this are, yes, Defense Boost is a very necessary skill, especially for PvP, because you want to mitigate as much damage as possible, and PvP made Defense Boost Maxes back on the map in terms of the meta. However, the higher you get in PvP, the more likely that your opponents are going to start having guard-breaking skills. So we're talking things like Supernova Monster Sora, we're talking Kingdom Hearts 3 Zeus, we are talking Kingdom Hearts 3 Roxas, Kingdom Hearts 3 Anti-Aqua. So the higher you get, you run into these guard-breaking skills, and the max sort of becomes irrelevant. So while Defense Boost 6 Max is 1 step up from Defense Boost 5 Max, I'm fairly confident you can get away with using Defense Boost 5 Max for the time being, especially since you won't be getting this skill until August. So Defense Boost 5 Max is still the best Defense Boost skill for the entire month until August comes. And then we don't know if they're going to release Defense Boost 6 Max on an avatar board. We don't know if it's going to be like a Coliseum reward. So we're not really sure what we're going to be getting Defense Boost 6 Max in. We just know that if you buy the VIP 5 times and get those 5 Aquas, you're also going to be getting Defense Boost 6 Max. But again, you're only getting 1 of it. So for the most part, you want all of your Keyblades to have Defense Boost Max skills on it, and this is only going to give it to 1 of those, and there are still guard break medals running around, so I don't think it's worth buying 5 weeks of VIP just to have this skill, because again, Defense Boost 5 Max does a good job, and because of all those defense breaking, it's just not worth it in my opinion. Like, you can have Defense Boost 6 Max and then get guard broken like 15 times and you've lost. So I would not buy the VIP just for the sake of getting that 6 Max skill, and I wouldn't buy it to have multiple copies of Supernova Plus Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua. I'd say probably if you don't buy it every week, if you're selective about when you buy it, try to pick the 2 best weeks in your opinion, what the 2 best weeks of VIP are, and then use those to get the Aqua. But if you buy VIP and still are kind of unsure, at least get 1 of them, because this is probably going to be a very, very meta medal for a long time until they release the next thing that gives general strength plus 1,500, if not more. Alright, let's keep going down here. So they also have the Aqua Trade medal deal, which is pretty great, because for 300 jewels, you are getting 1 trait roll. So you get 5 traits for 1,500 jewels, so that's about 300 jewels a trait. On top of that, you are also getting 5 VIP coins, which again, VIP coins, like I talked about in the last video, can be used to obtain traits. They can be used to obtain like awesome broken medals. So we don't know if they're going to introduce very, very old limited edition medals as VIP draws. So for example, one medal that I really wanted that I couldn't get back in the day is Key Art number 2. That is the The Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days artwork, one of the concept artworks, that's amazing. I love that artwork. But unfortunately, they only released it once. So we don't know if the direction of the game is where they're going to have Supernova Plus upgrades to those medals and then have them return in VIP boards. So having VIP coins is really, really solid, and I would wait until the end of the month in order to use all of them, just in case right at the end they like pull the rug underneath our feet and it's like, hey, there's a super awesome medal that you can only get with VIP coins. Oh, you spent all of yours so far, that's too bad, go ahead and buy some more. So I would save all the VIP coins till the end of the month until they really show us everything that's available to us. But yeah, you're going to get 5 traits, which is really good. You're going to get 5 VIP coins, which is also really good. The only trade-off is that I wish they included it with the weekly jewel extravaganza. However, having it as a board means that you are not limited to the number of traits that you can roll. So let's say if they included 5 trait rolls with the weekly jewel extravaganza, then you get like poison resist, paralysis resist, max HP, max gauges, and then maybe like a strength plus 1,000. So if they didn't have this board, you'd pretty much be stuck with those traits. However, having this board gives you the ability to say, oh shoot, I didn't get what I wanted. You know what? I can pull for more traits. I can roll for more traits and hopefully get something better. So even though it doesn't sound like a good idea to pull from this an infinite number of times, it does give you the option of being able to get good traits on this medal. And remember that good traits are necessary in order for a medal to move from that A-class tier where you're clearing a lot of the events to that S-class tier where you're clearing all of them. So having a medal with good traits definitely makes a big difference, especially on a medal like this, which is really, really powerful at the moment. So I really like this banner, but I do want to wait off. So if you have Supernova Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua, I would hold off for just a little bit because we don't know what is coming down the line. We don't know what sort of jewel offers are going to come down the line. We don't know what avatar boards are coming. We don't know what medals are coming. So you don't want to waste all your jewels early just to be like, oh shoot, they replaced this Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua so fast and now I don't have any jewels. So this is going to be around until August, so you have a long time to decide if you want to buy these traits, how many of them you want to buy. So just keep that in mind. There's no rush on this. You have a lot of time to decide. All right, let's move on to the next thing, which are these board deals. So we're going to start with, again, these are all for the month of July, but the at the very least, these gem boards are for the month of July, and these are staple if you are new. So while they do cost a hefty 3,500 jewels, gems are an investment because you use them to power up your Keyblade, and while certain medals they rotate out, they stop being as powerful, Keyblade multipliers stay the same as long as you power them up. So for example, if you have a 3.3 multiplier in the 5th slot of Fairy Stars, nothing is going to decrease that because you've already put the investment in. It's going to stay that 3.3 for as long as you don't level it up. And that is an investment for the future because while medals rotate out, the Keyblade multipliers stay the same, if not continually get better. And gems are the way you are going to make those Keyblades stronger. So these are a really good investment for pretty much almost any player. I'd say it's more relevant if you're new. So if you're new, you don't have all your Keyblades shiny yet, definitely think of investing into these because having those Keyblades at level 35 can make a very big difference in terms of your game and how far you're able to progress. So these are really good. I do like these. If you're more of a seasoned veteran and you have all your Keyblades at level 35, maybe consider holding off because 3,500 jewels is a lot. You are able to pass a lot of content with Keyblades being at level 35, so no particular rush. Again, it's more important for the newer players because the lower the Keyblade level, the more likely it is going to get a higher multiplier increase after using gems. So for example, once you get past level 35, upgrading your Keyblades, it pretty much the multiplier only goes up incrementally. So for example, right here, so the difference from this reverse blue slot to this one is 0.02. So that's actually pretty slim. But when we look at the diamond dust and we want to level it up here, so this is moving from a 1.7 multiplier to a 1.8, so that's a whole 0.1 increase, which is 5 times as much. And then it also increases this slot here by, again, 0.1, which is 5 times more than what we were getting out of the fairy stars. So the lower the level of the Keyblade, the more likely it is going to benefit from being upgraded with gems. So just keep that in mind. It's more relevant for the newer players. It's still relevant for veteran players, but it might not be as worth the investment. So let's keep going on with the board deals. So the next thing is going to be the skill enhancement boards, which are available until July 17th. And honestly, long story short, only get skill enhancement board A. I think skill enhancement board B has a lot of good stuff, but it's got attack boost 7 max, gauge 0, which is about to be super outclassed. And then when you look at skill enhancement board A and skill enhancement board B, they actually share 3 total skills. So in both of these boards, you're getting defense boost 5 max. In both of these, you're getting attack boost 9 max, gauge 2, and you're getting attack boost 8 max, gauge 1. So the real difference between these two is that skill enhancement board A is going to get attack boost 7 max, lux plus, and enhancement board B is going to get attack boost 7 max, gauge 0. So lux plus is far more important than gauge 0 because lux plus multiplies the amount of lux you get from a raid boss times 4. Approximately times 4, which can make a really big difference if you're trying to level up or if you're trying to get closer to that level 350, level 400, where you're getting 5,000 additional jewels. So Lux++ is far better than attack boost 7 max, gauge 0. Yes, the gauge 0 does look very enticing, but with attack boost 10 max running around right now, 7 max just isn't going to cut it. So moving on to the second difference is that enhancement board A comes with attack boost 9 max, whereas skill enhancement board B comes with, where is the other one? It's the 8 max, gauge 2. So essentially, you're getting a 9 max versus an 8 max. Yes, there is a gauge 2 on there, but you're also getting an attack boost 9 max, gauge 2 and an attack boost 8 max, gauge 1 on the first board. So skill enhancement board A, in my opinion, is the only one worth buying out of these two. Alright, moving on to the trait boards. So these are 1,500 jewels each. Again, we're going to have until the 17th to decide if you want them. These are the medals that are available. And honestly, again, I love these trait boards because sometimes you accidentally draw into a medal. So let's say I am aiming for a pirate form Sora, and then just somewhere down the line, I get lucky. I pull a Kingdom Hearts 3 Zeus. But that Kingdom Hearts 3 Zeus doesn't have any traits on it. Having these trait boards available allows you to buy into getting traits for that medal. It's only pretty much 500 jewels per trait, and you're also getting chips and dales, and you're getting a skill. So there's a lot of things you're getting out of these trait boards, and it gives you just enough to get the medal kickstarted, minus the tier 9 dual Meow Wows. That is the only thing you're not getting from this. Other than that, you are getting the chips, you're getting traits, and you are getting a skill. So that is just enough to get the medal kickstarted. So these are really, really cool. I do like them. And they give you the chance to re-roll for traits if you didn't get favorable traits the first time. So, for example, I have a Kingdom Hearts 3 Lee/Axel, and it is missing Ariel. So this is where I'm at right now. Yes, it is great that I have Strength plus 6,000, but I'd rather have a medal that is ground enemy minus 60, aerial enemy defense minus 60, and strength plus 4,000. Because at some point, that defense becomes very, very important to decrease on the enemy, and that minus 60 is going to go a lot further than a strength plus 1,000. So this medal is good. I would prefer having aerial on it, and these trait boards allow me to get another shot at that if I want to pay for it. So really, really cool stuff. I do like these trait boards. Again, it's mainly for if you incidentally drew into the medal and it has no traits. I would not do the ones for Kingdom Hearts. Actually, they're all actually pretty good. Sorry, for some reason I thought that was Kingdom Hearts 3 Young Xehanort. But they're all actually pretty good based on what you have. So remember that Kingdom Hearts 3 Master Xehanort does pretty much self-buff himself, minus the general attack and the general defense down. Kingdom Hearts 3 Marluxia has that crazy multiplier going for it. Kingdom Hearts 3 Zeus is a PvP medal. Kingdom Hearts 3 Hades has that minus strength on the enemy, which can be very, very important for turtling purposes. Kingdom Hearts 3 Lee, upright green copy medal that can go in the 5th slot of Fairy Stars, making it really good. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 Monster Sora, again, one of the best medals for PvP with that guard break ability. So these are all really solid trait boards in case you needed to buy them. Again, they're around for 17 days, so feel free to hold off until the very end to see what comes out and what's going to cost jewels for us. Lastly, we are going to have VIP metal boards, and these are what the VIP coins are going to buy for you. So each one of these is available right now through the Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie B and the Kingdom Hearts 3 Xion banners. They are pretty much what you can... it's part of like a 4-pull Mercy. So if we go to the shop and take a look here. So for the non-VIP banner, you can get the Youth in White, Guardian Form Sora, or Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora from this banner here. And then this one here gives you the Youth in Black, Kingdom Hearts 3 Anti-Aqua, or Supernova, Kingdom Hearts 3 Young Xehanort. So... quick thing, I don't like these banners. Again, it is that 1 in 4 chance, so you can do like 10 pulls and end up with something that really sucks. So I wouldn't pull from them, but just know that that is where those VIP boards came from. They came from the fact that if someone does pull from that 10 times, which I don't advise, I really don't advise that, because it's like a bad deal. You're spending 30,000 jewels to potentially get Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora. Not exactly worth it in my opinion. But that's where these VIP boards come from. So remember that at the end of the month, if there's nothing good, pick a medal that you think is going to be really good, buy traits for it, and those trait medals stack to form one column in your inventory. So pretty sweet stuff. Can be very, very useful. Again, if you don't have traits on a medal and you incidentally drew into it. So for example, if you accidentally drew into Guardian Form Sora from a banner that did not feature Guardian Form Sora, you can use VIP coins to buy traits for it. So again, really cool deal. Really like it there. Alright, moving along. Kingdom Hearts 3 Xion deal. Definitely reference my Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie B. It's going to be the exact same thing, except this is going to buff reverse medals. But I actually think this one is worse because it has less slots that it fits in. So it's reverse magic, which is one of the harder slots to maneuver around right now. Pretty much your best options are going to be second slot in Fairy Stars, and then pretty much anywhere on Diamond Dust. Yes, there is some use in 3 Wishes, but 3 Wishes is not exactly the most meta Keyblade right now. It might be with the Mono Blades running around for this month, but essentially I just think it doesn't have as many places that it fits. It doesn't fit as well in the second slot of Fairy Stars because you need to still buff before this. So if we go down to the effect right here, it is going to increase General Strength, Reverse Strength, and PSM Strength by 10, meaning it's missing 5 for each one. So it's missing 5 General Strength, 5 Reverse Strength, and 5 PSM Strength. It does not do any debuffing on the enemy, meaning that you have to have those negative debuffs on the enemies prior to using this medal. So it requires some pre-buffing. For example, having a HD Supernova Xion before this, but that's still not going to give you the maximum amount of buffs to make this medal worth it. So unless you had like a HD Xion with extra attack going on before this medal, it isn't going to be as powerful as people would expect it to be. Again, the main places for this are going to be 3 Wishes and the Diamond Dust for now. Alright, so that's that. Just a real quick analysis. Again, if you want to look more into it, the whole general strength thing, definitely check out my Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie B video, where I talk about how important that general strength can be. Alright, so let's move on to this. So the PvE for this month is featuring Attack Boost 10 Max Gauge 2 as the skill that you can win, meaning that a lot of people are going to go ham on this, and I highly advise going ham on this Coliseum because you're going to get free max skills if you rank high enough in it. And free skills is very, very important because otherwise you're going to have to buy those skills, you're going to have to waste jewels on them. So try and get as high as you can in order to prevent yourself from spending more jewels. We did get a heads up that the magic attribute is going to be better for PvE, so make sure you've got your good magic setups with ground and aerial enemy defense minus 60. And then we've got this cute little Sora ornament, as well as a turtle, so that's pretty sweet. We have the monthly gems, which is just normal at this point. And let's see, so this is the big thing. This is definitely one of the bigger parts of the July notices, is that these July featured Keyblades, they tell you exactly what we should be expecting for the rest of the month. So PvE is going to have a very heavy magic attribute focus, meaning you want to go in with a heavy magic setup like Counterpoint, like Diamond Dust. So you're going to want to go in with magic attribute for the PvE this month. PvP is going to be mainly power, so if you got Kingdom Hearts 3 Roxas and Kingdom Hearts 3 Zeus, this is definitely going to be your month. And events are going to be speed attribute. So really, in terms of good speed medals we've got right now, we've got Blitzform Sora, we have Illustrated Ventus A. Trying to think of what other good speed medals we have right now. Those are definitely two of the best ones out there. And I'm actually kind of lacking on speed, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle the events this month, but we'll give it a try. We'll see what we can do here. And the best part about this is that you are getting all these boosters for free. So they corrected their mistake that they did last month, because last month they charged us in order to get boosters. This month they're giving them out for free, which is the way it should be. So the nice thing about boosters is they shift the meta. So for people who have been following Kingdom Hearts Union Cross a lot, everyone says that Fairy Stars is the best Keyblade. And that's because without boosters, it has the highest multipliers. It has the thing where it's weak multipliers at the beginning, and as you go along, it has the best multipliers at the end. However, with boosters coming out, that actually changes the meta shift. So now monocolored blades are going to have the best multipliers, and that means we're all going to have to change our setups so that our heaviest hitting stuff is going to be on those monocolored blades. So I really like that these boosters are free. You don't have to pay for them. It shifts the meta in a way where if you are smart about your setups, you can have a better monocolored Keyblade setup in comparison to something like Fairy Stars. So let's say you have a really good Diamond Dust setup. So let's go to my equipment here, and let's go to Diamond Dust. So Diamond Dust is a monocolored Keyblade, and essentially the boosters are going to make all of these multipliers. I believe it's +2 on each multiplier. Let me double check that real quick here. Yeah, so it's +2. So that means this last multiplier slot is going to be 7.83 in comparison to Fairy Stars, which is not a monocolored Keyblade. It is a tricolored Keyblade because it has both, or it has power, speed, and magic on it, so it's not going to get the booster for the month. And that 7.83 last multiplier slot is going to be a lot higher than this 6.645. So normally Fairy Stars is better, but these boosters change it so that the monocolored Keyblades are going to be the focus for the month. So I really like that that's what they did. They corrected their mistake and are giving out the boosters for free. And this kind of entices players to use different metal setups, to be a little bit more creative in their setups. If they've been focusing only on Fairy Stars, they could potentially be missing out because now we have to use different Keyblade setups. Just note that for this, though, it is only going to get the +2 additional multiplier if it matches the slot perfectly. So in this case, let's say we had the KR20 right here. If we put it on this slot, the multiplier is only going to be 3.93. It's not going to be 5.93. Because it doesn't match the reverse slot, so it's only going to be matching the blue slot but not the reverse slot, it's not going to get that additional +2 multiplier. So it has to match it perfectly. So for example, this slot here, in order to get the booster, it has to be reverse and it has to be magic. It cannot be one or the other, it has to be both. So in order to get the bonus, that's what you have to do. So again, boosters, really cool. They definitely changed the way that we play the game. It's going to change what our raid setups are going to be. It's going to change what our event clearing setups are going to be. It's going to change just a lot of things, and boosters are really, really nice. So I like that that's what they did this month. They fixed the mistake, and I am really happy with that. For the Metal and Steel event, so my free-to-play account actually was able to get to round 8 pretty easily. The thing is, at around round 8, that is when a Barrier Master comes out. So for the most part, you're fighting just that Silver Hammer until round 8, where a Barrier Master comes out, and you gotta just factor it in. So let's go ahead, head to the quest real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the Metal and Steel event. Let's go ahead, quest number 8, and let's do our OP Fairy Stars for now. So when you get to quest 8, that Barrier Master shows up in the bottom right, and I can go over a walkthrough for this. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later, but just know that round 8, that Barrier Master comes up. You're gonna have to kind of think your way through it more, because once the Barrier Master dies, it does give a defense boost to the Silver Hammer here. So So let's go ahead and knock that Barrier Master out so I can show you exactly what I mean. So it's going to take just a little bit for my metals to pummel this guy to the ground. Alright. So as of right now, the enemies all have minus 15 defense, minus 15 PSM defense, and minus 15 reverse upright and... I'm sorry, minus 15 upright and reverse defense down. So once you knock out that Barrier Master, it dies, and then it boosts the defense of the silver hammer that remains so that it is no longer minus 15 everything. So now it's actually plus defense, and that's going to make some of your metals do just 1 damage. So keep that in mind. That Barrier Master is something you have to consider. Maybe I'll make a walkthrough for it later, but just keep it in mind for now. Prior to that, you should just be fighting the silver hammer frame, which isn't too bad in comparison, because all you got to do is get your best setup, run in there, and then just pummel the thing down to the ground. So yeah, that's a quick little guide for that. Let's go ahead, head back to the notices, and wrap things up here. So we've only got a few things left to talk about. So let's jump into the next thing, which is Union Cross, and there's not much to talk about here. So you're going to get these awesome spirit parts if you do the Union Cross boards. It's going to be the lanterns as one thing, and then Pascal as the second thing. So I really like Tangled, so I'm really looking forward to this, to be honest with you. I think that it's a super cool part to have for your pet. Unfortunately, it does not give any additional perks because pet gear does not increase any sort of perks. But maybe that'll change later down the line. Who knows? But remember that Union Cross is free jewels, it is free catchphrases, it is free equipment. So just do it during the special times, and you'll get it done within 3 to 4 runs. So really easy stuff there. At this point, Union Cross, I feel like it needs to be revamped in a different way. Maybe I'll give my thoughts on it later. I have a few ideas of what Union Cross could be. But right now, it's kind of boring because everyone just hops in the bonus times, gets it all done, and then never touches it with a 10-foot pole until the next week. So let's go next to the WJE. So do I think this week's VIP is worth buying? It depends. So first of all, it comes with that Aqua, which is super sweet. Definitely love the metal. It's got a great ability. Really looking forward to using it. But aside from that, I would say if you're newer and you don't have like a lot of gems, you don't have a lot of like evolve metals, a lot of Huey, Dewey, Louie's, yes, this is totally worth it. Because we have the level up skills, get EXP and evolve and money medals. And that is a fantastic quest just to farm for items. So if we go here, we only got 5 days left on it, meaning it is only available for this week and it might not come back next week. So this farming quest can be very important because farming Huey, Dewey's and Louie's saves you a lot of stress. Not only that, but we are also going to get 10 of each gem, whereas a regular week, you're only getting 2 of each gem. So that's also a really good investment. Again, like what I was talking about earlier, gems are more important the newer you are to the game because they increase your Keyblades multipliers, and that is a permanent change throughout the entire game. So while metals rotate out, the strength of the Keyblade will only ever go upwards. It's never going to go downwards. So gems are pretty important. So if you're newer, I'd say it's worth it. If you're kind of a veteran with a lot of excess materials, so if we go to my metal inventory here and we go to EXP, so I am clearly not at a shortage for Huey, Dewey's, and Louie's right now. So if you have like this much stuff stockpiled up, it might not be worth it. You might want to save your actual real life money for a better VIP down the line. We don't know if we're going to get a VIP that is going to have free tier 9 dual Meow Wows. We don't know if we are going to get additional avatar parts. So in this particular VIP, we're only getting 1 avatar part for that bandana. And remember that the Supernova Kingdom Hearts 3 Aqua is available for the next 5 weeks, so you have a lot of time to decide if you even want to buy VIP. So don't feel rushed. Again, it's only really important to have 1 or 2 of those Aquas at best, in my personal opinion. Other than that, you're just really just spending extra money. So that is my take on VIP this week. If you're newer, it's probably worth it. If you're free to play, don't even bother. It's not too big of a deal. And if you're a veteran player with a lot of additional resources, maybe save for a better VIP that might come down the line. So that is it for my analysis of the weekly jewel extravaganza. Moving on to the last thing, which is the raid event. Nothing particularly crazy here. It's just the same old raid event we get every week. The main thing that I do want to point out is that you might have to change which Keyblade you use to raid just because of the boosters that come out this month. So for example, my normal raid setup is this because it's got a lot of damage and raids on it. But I'm probably going to be switching to my Diamond Dust because it's going to get that booster for the month. And then I'll probably do something like this. So like that. Because this Aqua here has damage and raids plus, what is that? That is plus 220%. So that is doing a lot of extra damage. And this slot is going to be a 7.8 multiplier. So that is going to be a lot of damage that Aqua is putting in. With this in the pet slot, which won't receive any additional bonus. But it still has all these damage and raid traits as well as extra attack on it. So just remember, you might need to change your raid setup to better suit you with one of the mono-colored blades versus Fairy Stars, which is what everyone's been using for the most part up until this point. Alright, with that being said, that is the end of all these July notices. I am sorry that it's a really long video. Hopefully you can just kind of fast forward to the parts you need. If you don't watch my videos at ×2 speed or at least some higher speed than ×1, I would highly recommend that because I like to go into depth for some things more than a lot of other people would. So that is my analysis of all these things so far. Again, hopefully you can kind of just speed up to the parts that you need. I should have probably said that at the beginning of the video, but if you made it this far, just know as we move forward, just speed up to the parts you need to listen to. You don't have to listen to the whole thing if you don't need it. Alright, that is my analysis for all these July announcements. Again, it's a lot of announcements just because it's the 1st of July, but hopefully people found this helpful. Hopefully it kind of helps you make decisions, and that's all for now. So with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If there are any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.